Hello and welcome back to the Outdoor Station. And today we're looking at the Luxe Habitat, a lovely little shelter, a two-person shelter, excellent weight for two people, and in fact pretty good for one too. So without further ado, let's have a look and see how it pitches. This is the Luxe Habitat, a very popular two-person tent falling into the lightweight category. About 1.8 kilos, 750 the outer and 475 the inner, and then the pole and the pegs obviously make up the rest. The tent itself comes with a footprint that you can use underneath the main inner, or you can use the footprint on its own, so you can have the outer skin plus the footprint. And therefore do away with the inner nest, giving you a little bit more space. Very generous tent, two entrances, ideal for two people that want to have their own space inside a tent. So a PU coated fabric manufacture, so basically you can use it straight out of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up the inner. We'll have a look at the inner first of all, see how generous that is, and then we'll put the cover over the top and see it complete. As you can see, straight out of the box. So there we have the inner erected. The nest itself is 475 grams, and the poles, two poles, one big spider and this one that goes across the middle, is 556 grams. But a very generous inner. In fact, it's exactly the same size inner as the Luxe Hammer 2, which is 2 meters that way and 1.3 meters this way. But lovely and light, so I can actually decide obviously where I want to pitch this shelter. Plenty of ventilation, doors on both sides, and as I say, the actual shelter itself has got doors on both sides, ideal for people who like to know exactly where they put their own stuff, as many couples do. Very quick and easy to stick together. There's no areas of error or confusion. Everything just slots into the appropriate grommet, and the clips just clip on to get the tension. So nice and simple. What I'll do is I'll just nip inside to show you again in reality what a 6'2" person is like inside. But I've got plenty of space, certainly plenty of space here for two sleeping mats. My feet are just at the end here now, but if I lay down, I've got, I don't know, a couple of inches probably at the top here. It's getting close to the edge for me, I suppose, but I would actually quite happily camp in this, because I know there's plenty of ventilation with the actual outer skin on, so I wouldn't be touching the sides. But I would certainly say if you were sort of 6'2" or less, or perhaps 6 foot and less, it would be a lovely layout. So we'll pop on the outer skin now and you can see what it looks like complete. Right, so there you have the outer skin put on. Very simple to do. Just drop it straight over the top and then peg out the doors either side. Ventilation at both ends, doors that can be opened one either side, depending on the wind changes, or of course the back doors, or you can open them both up. I'll get in the tent in a second and show you that. The four corners, if you like, peg out and clip onto the outer there, which is nice and easy to do, so you don't need any extra pegs. Peg-in points at the bottom there, ventilation on both ends as well, and obviously reinforcement with a little bit of guy there. Back door, in case you fall out during the night and your partner decides to leave you. Yeah, all in all, nice and simple. Straightforward really. The material's PU coated nylon, so there's no seam sealing to worry about. In the vestibule here I've got easily enough space for boots and a small rucksack, and obviously in a day like today, it's glorious sunshine, we can just roll back both doors and have ventilation all the way through, so makes it quite useful, quite nice for European travelling perhaps, where the weather is slightly a bit more consistent than it is in the UK. So all in all, pretty good tent really. I think I've covered most of the things I wanted to say. Pretty good value for money, 1.8 kilos as a two-person tent goes. I think most people would be happy with that, especially at that price. So let's now have a look at some of the finer details and the weight again to remind ourselves. The material, as I say, is PU coated nylon, so that means there's no seam sealing to consider, and the repair, should you have to repair a PU coated nylon, is actually very easy and straightforward. The fly, 760 grams, can't even read my own writing there. The nest, 475, and obviously the pegs and poles go to make up the rest. Now, the additional footprint you don't have to use, but should you wish to use it instead of a nest, so that you're actually just using the outer skin on its own, you're obviously saving another 269 grams on the actual weight itself, so you can just use the outer shelter with an inner ground sheet, as it were. The sleeping area there is detailed, 2 meters by 125 centimeters. Plenty of space for 2 people, and the maximum depth of both vestibules, which are the same, is 57 centimeters. And the pack size is there should you wish to see that as well. So all in all, pretty good tent, excellent value for money. PU coated nylon, so great fabric to use, and well, pretty indestructible and ideal for all sorts of uses, really. So that's about it from me. Many thanks for watching. And oh, one thing I did forget is to tell you, of course, that the shelter itself is available in the UK from backpackinglight.co.uk. So until next time, folks, many thanks, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.
This machine will have eyes, ears, and a voice.